Well, this video is kind of a surprise for me to make because I was not aware that Indian boys, especially young Indian youth, are facing this problem. And I'll tell you how I came about. The problem is actually balding, losing hair. And how this came about was, this group I've created for the youth. Anyone below the age of 30 can join this group, provided you verify your details. I made the announcement in the community tab. So I got quite a number of young boys who wanted to join. And now obviously after joining and, they were very excited and all that. So many were asking questions and discussing with one another. So one particular young man, he asked me this question about balding, losing hair. And, what can you do about it? And, you are bald. Were you always like that? Did it affect you? Did you feel bad? Okay, so I read it, but, I'm busy. I have other people who will guide them. So then to my surprise, after that question was asked, I did receive some, requests. And I've told, the boys in the group, don't send me a message unless it's really serious. So I was surprised to actually get 2-3 young men who very respectfully, dear sir, please don't feel bad. I put the message there, but you must have not received, or you must have not seen. I just request if you can make a video on balding. I'm losing hair. One other guy said, I'm depressed that I've lost my hair. People are making fun of me. And one even told me that he is unable to find a marriage partner because he has lost hair. So I really didn't think this was a very serious thing until I finally decided I'll speak to 2 or 3 boys, 2 or 3 young men from the group who I know from a couple of years. To my surprise, when I spoke to them about balding and losing hair, I was surprised to see that even they are worried about losing hair. They are worried about becoming bald, either having a bald patch here or here. So I was like, oh, really? Is it that serious? He's saying, yeah. So then I asked him, why don't you just, have how I have, or Satya Nadella, he has, you have The Rock, you have Jason Statham, you have all these people saying, no, sir, you don't understand. In India, if you don't have hair, it's a matter of shame. I was like, oh, really? He's saying, yeah, people call you ganja. I said, yeah, I'm aware of that. Calling ganja, takla, And then some of them even slap on the head and they make fun of you. In college, people make fun of you from far. And sometimes when you wear a cap, people just grab the cap and everyone's laughing. And in some cases, people don't want to go to school or college. So it's like, oh, I was not aware that it's that serious. I know bullying takes place, but I didn't know this problem was so serious. And then I was also surprised to know that many young Indian men who are searching for marriage partners, because in India, arranged marriage, the families actually reject them for their hair. I was like, are you serious? They reject you for your hair? So they're saying, yeah, they want someone with hair. And he's saying because, having hair makes you look good. And then I also said, is it because what they show in the movies like Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan and all that? Saying, yeah, that is also there. I said, are you aware that Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, they have hair transplant? You can clearly make out. He's saying, yeah, sir, we know all that, but they have the money to get hair transplant. We don't have the money and we are just depressed. And okay, so after speaking to all of them and realizing how serious the situation, I did a little bit of Google search. And there I was absolutely shocked. I didn't know there were videos and documentaries on balding. And I knew that, hair transplant or cosmetic surgery was a multi-billion-dollar industry. I'm aware of that. but I didn't know how serious it was in terms of the impact on young men. I even told some of the, see, Andrew Tate, you admire Andrew Tate, he's bald. No, sir, but he's Andrew Tate, sir. We are from India, where we have like this, our society and all. And it seems even when we go interact with people, they say, hey, what, you're losing your hair. So I was like, oh, damn, man, this is really bad. Now, after finding all this stuff and doing a little bit of Google search and all that, I finally told these boys, okay, I'll make a video and this is where I'm sharing this with you. See, if you have the money, then obviously you don't have a problem. You can go to the best of the best doctors, and please make sure that you go to a qualified, certified, reputed and worthwhile doctor. In India, there are so many doctors who are just namesake doctors, doctors with fake degrees, doctors who are just pretending to be doctors, and doctors who have maybe degrees from some rubbish university, and some who even fake it. Okay, please, where your health is concerned, do not take a risk. Like I've seen disasters where facial reconstruction surgery, lips, cheeks, chin, nose. There are so many people who have made big blunders and big disasters, and the impact is permanent. And in many cases, people have even died. They've actually died. I know in Dubai, one guy went for liposuction. He was the owner of a multi-million-dollar company. This is not a joke, actual fact. He went for a surgery and he died. I don't know whether he got it done in India or in Dubai. So I know people who have had a botched nose job where finished, they cannot breathe properly. Michael Jackson had the same problem. He couldn't breathe properly. I know one client of mine who went and got, I think, a nose job and cheek and teeth, and it ended up in a disaster, and now he is very severely depressed. I spoke to him, I think 2 years ago or so. He went to Turkey because it was cheaper there. Some people have gone to Mexico. So anyway, for the people who are there in India, if you are going to a doctor, please, I request you, go to someone who is qualified. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Yeah. Even when I went for my surgery, for my bariatric surgery, I didn't go to a doctor whom I would bargain the price or the cheapest. And obviously, I'm not going to the one who's the most expensive, like a celebrity doctor. But I went with someone who I trusted from years, who knew me as a young man. He told me, Loy, I'm recommending you to a doctor whom I have entrusted my 80-year-old mother. He's saying, if I can entrust my mother in his hands, that means he's a worthwhile doctor. So that was a doctor I went and got in touch with. So make sure that you approach a doctor who has credentials, who has qualifications, who has reputation, and who has a track record of people you can personally meet and interact with. Okay, that's number one. The second one is make sure that you're aware of the risks, because always remember, there's always a possibility things can go south. Like even when I went for my bariatric surgery, there's a 1 or 2% chance I can die. You'll not believe, before I went for my surgery, I actually prepared everything that in case I died, my wife can continue, my clients can continue. I was prepared for it. Thankfully, I didn't die. Okay. Now, having said those two things, that is if you can afford. But now the question is, if you can't afford, what do you do? See, if you can't afford, then you have to learn to live with it. Okay. See, some people like to keep their hair long and cover bald patches. Some people put a wig, which I find so ridiculous and funny. Putting a wig, and I'm telling you, people can see through a wig. Okay, people can literally see. Some may wear a cap and all that. Now, you can try all these solutions to make sure nobody can spot that you're bald. But the fact remains, you are bald. You are getting bald. Now, there are some people who even say get tattooed and all that. I don't recommend There are some people who have tattooed hairline and all that. See, listen. Yes? Yes. My daughter. So, see, if you don't have the money, you don't have the means, then the reality is you have to face the music. Now, there are two choices you can do if you don't have the money. Okay, I'll come to the marriage part if you get rejected. Okay, let's come to the first is the getting the acceptance. So now, if you don't have the money, you don't have the means, please don't take a loan. Okay, please don't take a loan. And if you're so desperate that you have to take a loan, I know some people who have even taken a loan for cosmetic surgery, not just for hair, then go to the best. Okay, don't go cheap. Don't be cheap where your health is concerned. But now if you don't have the loan, you don't have anything, and you're still worried about this thing, you have to accept it, because this is you. This is your personality. This is who you are. When I started to lose my hair, I had that V kind of, like my hairline used to come like a V. I was always proud of it. I always felt like I was like Wolverine or Dracula. I used to always keep long hair. I used to like it very much. Girls also used to like it. Used to gel every day. But obviously, as you have long hair and you gel and you keep putting chemicals on your head, you do lose hair. And I started losing hair quite a lot and quite frequently. And obviously, I realized I was getting bald when especially that V started to vanish and became flat, and my top of the head, the hair started thinning. So I knew I was losing hair. Okay. And obviously, the hairline was receding. One fine day, as I noticed it's getting thinner, and I remember after my first divorce, when I went into depression, I was like, hell with this, I just shaved. I can assure you, the first time I shaved, it looked very strange, looked very odd, it looked very ugly. And everyone was like, hey, what the hell happened? And people thought I was depressed. People questioned me. People were like, what the hell are you doing? And there were so many questions. Okay. Now, here's one tip I'll give you. If you are losing hair, don't just immediately shave your head. It'll come as a shock. First, cut your hair little short. Obviously, the bald patches will show. Then cut it a little bit more short. Then cut it a little bit more short. Then go like a military cut. Very thin, sloping, very small. Go small, small, small. And finally, make it like very fine. So you will get accustomed to looking bald. Otherwise, if you just from hair, you just shave, people will be shocked. Okay. It'll be too much for anyone. Okay. Because you are suddenly shocking people with a sudden change of your appearance. That's one. Okay. So that's a tip. Now, you need to figure out ways and means how you can accentuate this look. Either if you're becoming bald, either keep a Frenchie, or if you know that you're becoming bald, see if you can keep a beard. How do you look? I know it's not going to make you look attractive. If you clean shave, you look like obviously like a round ball with a face, eyes. You look like that Toy Story, that potato character. So that is why don't shave. Okay, don't shave just suddenly. It'll come across as a shock. So, and see, I think more than anything, you have to accept the fact that you're getting bald. You have to learn to love yourself. And remember, it's just your appearance is not everything. There are so many people who have hair and who look good, but they have nothing up here. And they don't have anything up here, man. And for the girls or the marriages or the proposals where they're rejecting you for your looks, they are daughters. I'm not saying this just for you to feel good. It's a fact. Those very same beautiful girls, their daughters, after they give birth to 1, 2, 3 children, they will look like a Michelin tire. They will look like their mothers. They will look like an auntie. While the guys can at least, because they have testosterone, they can look better. You can go to the gym, have a great physique and look like macho. What do you think those girls? How many girls who I wanted to marry, who rejected me, not for balding, for my tattoos or no money. That time they used to look like 15, 20 years ago. They look very beautiful. Today, if you see, they look like so ugly. I can't even believe how some of them even have thyroid issues. One female the actual fact, she looked so sexy. Like she was slimmer than me. She is now like, her ass has become like so big, like one of those African tribe, where they have this big ass where it's joggling. Her thighs become, because she got thyroid issues. Her whole body is like puffed up, like she is like 4 or 5 people in one body. That fat she's become. And before, she was so beautiful. Most of the women who I wanted to marry, after they have children, see, when you cut open your body and all that, you don't remain beautiful, yeah. So be happy that you are able to see that these people are superficial. They are fake. They go for external appearance. Better that you didn't have anything got to do with them. You might as well go for someone who loves you and accepts you for who you are. Like this wifey. I married her when I was 125 kilos. I was fat, I was bloated, I had tattoos, I didn't have much money, I didn't know whether I could have a good life. She married me then, and she said she just wants a loving husband. She wants a loving family. Expectations were low, and lo and behold, it was easy to keep her happy. And today, after I'm in shape, she's much more happier. And here's the funny thing, she always tells me, when you are fat, you were like a teddy bear. You're so lovable. He's saying, it's not that you look bad now. Now you look very attractive. But I miss that teddy bear. See, this is how she was. She loved me for me. She loved me for who I was. I'll be a little honest with you here. For me, I'm also very superficial. When I wanted a girl, I wanted a slim, beautiful, petite. I wanted attractive. So, I chose the type of girl I wanted. Would I have accepted her if she was fat? No. But this is me. I'm being honest with you. So we all have our preferences. So even when you choose a girl, you'll want someone who's attractive to your eyes. But maybe your level is here. But the girl who's here, her level is up here. So it's a matter of choosing and finding out. And I'm not saying those girls are bad. Don't get me wrong. Just as you want someone who's attractive, they also have certain parameters where they consider this is what is attractive. Like my wife, before she married me, she had 2 other husbands. And before that, when she was in a school, she always wanted like the Korean pop band, like, the chocolate boy looking Backstreet Boys, good looking young men who were slender, slim, and who didn't have tattoos. She always wanted that kind of a guy. But later on in life, she realized those looks are shallow. So she chose the right person. So maybe you need to find the person who values you for the individual that you are, not for your looks. Even you, when you're choosing someone, don't just get married for boobs and ass and good face and good body. No. Remember, that is only one part. You can only have so much of sex, after which you'll have to interact with that person. You'll have to talk to that person. Like I told you, after you get married, the 7-year itch is gone. Then you're not going to have sex 24/7. You're going to talk to the person. In your times of depression, stress, arguments, you need a friend. So you better choose a girl not just for, having sex. It's more like than taking a sex doll, So where marriage is concerned, if the person rejects you, forget it. I'll tell you, rather than that, focus on your career. Focus on earning money. Focus on your skill. Focus on making something out of your life. That will earn you more brownie points. And I'll tell you this, if you achieve a certain level of success where your career path is concerned, where money is concerned, I know this might sound boring to hear. Oh man, Loy, come on, you're talking about a career. I want a girl. Boss, without this, no, you can't take care of you and that female, and then problems will arise. So whether you like it or not, that matters. Or lower your standards and go to someone from the village. You can't have, I want a girl at this level and I'm not perfect, but I want a girl who's perfect. Then you're stupid. So marriage, I told you, focus on someone who looks beyond just the image. at least where a woman is concerned. Okay. And yes, focus on things that will make you much more attractive. Now, coming to you as an individual, you can go to the gym and have a great physique. There are many bald guys who look buff, but they look cool. Or you can try having a Frenchie. I told you, trimming your hair all short, that will also help. And yes, you can try accessories like cap and this and that. But then again, remember, you're just trying to cover up what other people will notice. And finally, what I'll tell you is, I know this question, what people are making fun. Those individuals who are making fun, those relatives, if they say, hey man, you're becoming takla, just say, hey man, your face looks messed up, or your weight, you seem to be looking like a cow. If they are giving you something, you give them back. Or best, never interact with those individuals, because it shows they lack empathy. They are just immature, they are stupid, uneducated, classless. Because it is a hurtful thing, if it is, everyone's talking about it and you feel hurt. Or you can tell them, listen, I don't appreciate your comment. Tell them on their face and then keep away from them. And people who are making fun of you and all that, they will always be bullies. You have to overcome this by either learning how to stand up for yourself, or go to an MMA class or boxing class, or learn to stand up for yourself. And then what will happen is, people will automatically respect you. They will respect you, and that fear factor is always there. See, bottom line, let me tell you this much. There is no end to trying to look attractive. There is no end to surgeries. And sometimes people overdo it, like Madonna. You can even Google search the Ken Barbie doll. People have implants for their abs. They have liposuction. They have for their buttocks. They have for their back. They have for their shoulders. There are people who even put synthol, this injection oil. You can Google the synthol man. Their full arms are like puffed up like this, and it's oil. It's actual oil. People have even Vice documentaries there where this lady put oil, cooking oil, in her face to keep it smooth, and now her whole face sags. There are people who have had surgeries where all their face is now paralyzed. So there are a lot of risks, man. So be careful of all this, okay? And remember that just sometimes in your quest to look good, you might even lose your life, or you might lose a part of your body, or it might cause irreversible damage. So, the world of cosmetic surgery and visual appearance never ends, okay? And we all want to not look ordinary. That is why maybe I tattooed my whole body, and in the end, after that phase is over of trying to be who you're not, or try to enhance your image, when that gimmick all goes away, it all comes down to how much money you're making, how you are able to provide for yourself, how you're able to provide for your family. Are you earning? Are you saving? Are you able to live a normal life? And as we get older, you will become bald, your stomach will grow, your shape will no longer be there. Age will catch up, and then nobody cares. The problem is, if you actually see, this is all because of media and because of movies. Like even Rajnikant, who's actually bald as an old man, he's 60 years. But when he stars in his movies like Robo and all, he puts a wig. So there is that peer pressure from society to have hair and look good, and that is the image of a good-looking man. But I can assure you this much, when you travel the world and see the world, this is only limited to India, and this is only limited to narrow-minded people. As you go abroad, as you travel the world, the definition of beauty changes from culture to culture, person to person. Like, I even saw this African tribe, this video. This African tribe, the bigger the stomach is of the man, the more sexy he is. There are African women who, the bigger their butts are, and they show their even breasts, half-naked breasts. Like, the more huge it is, it looks ugly, but they find that beautiful. In some tribes, they have, if you tattoo your face or In some places they have, if you put, with a blade, if you cut and you have scars, you look attractive. African tribes, you cut like that Wakanda movie, what is it, Black Panther. If you have those scars on your body, then you look attractive. So the definition of beauty goes from place to place. Like, many Indians consider me looking like a freak, or I'm gone mental, or I look ugly. But you'll be surprised to know many foreigners, Germany, Australia, Europe, they have different opinions. Filipinos think I'm some, guy who has gone to jail. People in the West, some of them think I'm some Mexican cartel. My wife's family themselves thought I was a drug dealer, I was a mafia member. So, like I told you, some say ugly, some say beautiful. But today my wife looks at me and says, I find you looking very attractive compared to if you'd look without tattoos like an Indian man. So, like this, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So I'd just like to conclude by telling you guys that, see, I'm not saying that balding is not a serious issue. It is. Especially when you're in a society with everyone saying, oh, what the hell is this? Man, you're losing hair. Oh, you're takla, you're ganja. With all those names and all that. There's a lot of peer pressure, but don't succumb to that. And don't dance to people's tunes, because it will never stop. Tomorrow they'll say hair. Then they'll say your face doesn't look nice. Oh, the surgery didn't work out well. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. What are you going to do? Keep changing? So instead of that, focus on investing in yourself. Focus on maybe leaving that society or leaving that group of friends or those people. And focus on what matters. Your career, your money, your personality. Develop some skills. Have a great physique. Learn boxing, MMA, keep yourself busy. And eventually, you'll realize that you need not go into this world of worrying about balding. Because remember, once your priorities catch up, your mother, your father, their health, your children, your wife, or your job, when those priorities come, nobody thinks about balding. If tomorrow you don't have a job, you don't have salary, are you going to worry about balding? If tomorrow you have cancer or you're dying, you're going to worry about balding. So remember, this is not a matter of life and death. It's just something that you're giving exceptional importance to, which is a non-issue only for peer pressure and to fit into society's norms of beauty, good looks and acceptance. And remember, end of the day, this very society, they will dump you, they will leave you when you need them the most. So they don't matter. So anyway, I hope this video was able to help you in some way. I know it's not going to solve your balding issue, but it gave you some insight into this thing about balding. And please don't play with your health, and don't, go to any cheap guy. If you definitely want to get a transplant, this and that, and you're determined and you're going to take a loan, fine, then go to someone worthwhile. If, however, you do not have that luxury, then what I told you, learn to accept it. Be tough, be mentally tough, be emotionally tough, and focus on what matters. And eventually as life goes on, other priorities will come and this will take a back seat. Like I told you, keep yourself well groomed. And remember, there are people like The Rock, Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, so many people who are bald. Yeah, because only in India, maybe hair and all that, people are crazy. Outside India, there are different definitions of beauty. And remember, no matter what, hair or no hair, fat or slim, if you have this, you're super attractive. Got it? You don't even have to use Fair and Lovely for that. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free to comment down below. And let me know, is this a serious issue for youngsters? Because I was really surprised to know that this issue really bothers young men in India. All right? So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Feel free to comment below. This is me signing off. You guys take care. Ciao.